Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about Sweet Baby Ink again. I've been doing that for nearly 2 weeks now. Holy shit. But then again, it's not my fault. The more this thing goes on, the more shit and crap we see coming out of it. Holy fuck, it's the shit that keeps on giving. No. Anyway, let's deal with this guy here. He worked at Bungie, and it's entertainment law adjunct. CLO, yeah, whatever. Anyway, 20 years in games, 17 in the C-suite, so well, suited to say, these people blaming one consultancy for everything they don't like are again demonstrating they know nothing about the subject they purport to be discussing. Interesting title. Now, all I'm gonna say is leave kids alone, dude. Just leave kids alone. I know it's difficult for you people, but leave them alone. Anyway, this guy here is once again gaslighting or doing exactly what the media is doing. They are gaslighting. We are not blaming just Sweet Baby Ink. They turn out to be the ones who caused this trace and effect because they decided to attack a guy who was making a curator list on Steam about it, and that's it. It just became the focus, but we know they are not the only ones responsible for the garbage we are seeing in games today. There's like silver lining. There are many other things like gamer or something like that with, you know, G-A-Y instead of G-A. You know, multiple companies. And the problem is that we are all against these companies because they are literally being hired to ruin the story, to ruin your property, to ruin the games. They make games for people who are literally not interested in games. Why I say that? Well, it's very simple. Let's take a peek here. An example that I'll keep coming back. After all, it's a very good example. Here, Saboteur, released in 2009, available on Steam for less than a week. And you have a 761 24-hour peak, 631 players right now. And right now, we have at a Suicide Squad, which was released a little bit more than a month ago, and it went with a 40% sale. Yeah, the peak is 713. Right now, 511. So that means there's less players playing a multi-million-dollar game that just came out and is on sale than it is on Saboteur. So, who are you making games for? For people who are not into gaming. For people... sorry, allergies. For people who are not interested in purchasing or enjoying them. So, here's an example. What I mean with these people. They really don't understand their demographic. They don't understand the gamers. This is why they are having problems selling their garbage. After all, Alan Wake 2 still has yet to make money, allegedly. Anyway, it's never caused to them that the reason nobody made games for them was because nobody wanted to make those kinds of games. Dude, they literally made games for us for years, decades, and they're still making them. Like the Inquisitor, or which I think it just released, but it's still too expensive, so I cannot buy it yet. They still have multiple games being made, AA games right now. Helldivers is a game for us. That's a very good example. Last Epoch, that's another game made for us as well. And it's doing perfectly fine, and I'm pretty sure they made more than their investment into that one. So how can you answer about those games? What do you have to say about those games? Those games were made for us, dude. They were made for us. While meanwhile, games like Suicide Squad, Alan Wake, and, well, crap that it is God of War Ragnarok whatever these games are in here, like Spider-Man 2, which was a total crap. These games here, none of them are made for us. None. And some of them costs millions upon millions to make. And yet, you guys have not recouped the costs. So, what does it say about your argument? Precisely, dude. I'm not going to read the rest of his ramblings because they are just all very intolerant and downright disturbing, to say the least. It says it seems like this person may be allegedly disconnected from reality. But what can I do? Right? So, moving on to the next guy, and the next idiot who said it. Right. So, Richie here. Apparently, he is the founder of It's Bare Knuckle, helping kill it. It's a developer or somebody related. You can see that he is on the woke side because of the pronouns. Anyway.
I've been seeing more and more hateful gamer-gators opinions. I want to be clear on where I stand. I want to tolerate any harassment, violence, or threats towards staff, minorities, women in our industry, and any space that I own or have control over. I don't care about your opinions. I won't go into discussion with you. I'm not interested in explaining to you how little you know of the workings of our industry, and I will report and block your account immediately. And if by any chance you happen to be working in the industry, you're voicing said opinions, and screenshot you, put you on a person list, and advocate that you never work at a company or work for or associated with.
Holy shit. So basically what we have here, allegedly, is a guy who is allegedly making lists. That kind of reminds me of the Nazis for some reason. I don't know why. Or the communists. Dictators. Despot countries. People who would actually report Jewish people to the Nazi. Why does this guy remind me of that? It says a lot, doesn't it? It says a lot when the left is, once again, doing things that they have done in the past, almost 100 years ago. That led to persecution of people. Oh, Jesus Christ. It seems like we're back. It's like every 100 years we have some leftist shenanigans going on. God damn it. Right, so before I continue, here is a trailer.
Night. We are born of sin and crime. We are repentance personified. We are immortal. We are legend. We are God's wrath made manifest. And we know no fear.
Well, I'm back, baby. Yeah, well, after all, it's, It's Sweet Baby, so shit, just give some give. I don't know how often I can continue with this before I start losing my neurons going through the comments of these people who seem to be completely disconnected with reality. But anyway, we still have more crap to go through, shall we? Well, this idiot here is a games journalist who supposedly is working in a medium who they actively hate to work on, allegedly. Why? Well, one of the best examples of media where they are trying to cater to a demographic they actually actively hate and they don't actually like working on is Kotaku. After all, here, Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what some gamers think it does. Well, after all, it's Kotaku, right? I mean, what this person has anything to do with it? Yeah, it works on Kotaku. It's a games journalist. So, anyway, remember, don't harass these people. Leave them alone. You know, just looking at them, just breathing triggers them. So, stay far away. Anyway, the same people who will say, just what games be a political game will add deeply political stuff, like making it evident that they want games to reinforce deeply patriarchal essentialists on limiting notions of gender, which is not political at all. Gender is two. Yes, it's binary. There's male and female, and that's about it. That's science. You idiots are trying to change the definition of gender to include some other retarded mental disease, but that doesn't change the fact that it is still two genders. Oh, well. And then we have the idiot here who is insisting that, quoting a paragraph. Let me quote this paragraph for you to have an idea. We play as characters who are much larger than life, but have flaws like us so that we can relate to them. Exactly, the flaws, the personality is what connects us to the character. For instance, I don't think I'm full of cancer and yet I enjoyed the Deadpool game. I don't think I'm a black criminal and yet I enjoyed the best Grand Theft Auto game has ever been released is San Andreas. And guess who the protagonist is? It's a black guy. A criminal black guy. Do I look black to you? I don't think so. And yet, for me, the best Grand Theft Auto with the best story was San Andreas. How does that fit with the narrative that these people are trying to portray over here? It doesn't fit, does it? It doesn't fit. Yet, on media like movies, Blade, for me, was the best superhero trilogy ever made. Do I look black like a black vampire? No. Not even a tiny little bit. And yet I connected with the hero. And yet I did. What does that say about the argument that these people are trying to make? Anyway, moving on. Both male and female characters in video games pre-2014 were designed to be a peak masculine and feminine form. This is why men in video games have defined muscles, are leaders that other men want to follow, and are handsome. The female characters are big feminine, with nice bodies, desirable personalities, and faces with which to fall in love. Let's just say that the people who wrote the articles at Kotaku, I think overwhelmingly almost all of them, don't have faces in which you can actually fall in love, or faces that you would actually like, more like faces that pretty much kind of like one of those poisonous snakes or poisonous frogs in which they have very, I forgot the name, scientific name. I knew it like 20 minutes ago, and right now I forgot the word. Oh, wonderful. Anyway, in which they have bright colors to tell you that they are poisonous. They have that type of faces. They even go right ahead and do so on their hair or on their skin, which they tattoo a lot of stuff. They are telling you that they are toxic, that they'll kill you, allegedly. And all of those things, at least mentally also as well. Fuck me. Let's continue. Shall we? And to be clear, no, simply having an attractive woman in your game doesn't mean that it's upholding a patriarchal view. That's absurd, though. Some people like to mischaracterize my position that way. Yeah, let me put it this way. Everything you have done and said, basically everybody involved on Kotaku kind of alludes to be that position. But I digress. It's that this pattern... Oh, sorry.
It's that this pattern that they want to see repeat itself again and again, to the exclusion of anything else. It's anything but a political. Just feels political to you if your politics are already aligned with it.
So does that mean you think that Suicide Squad is apolitical? Let me put it this way. The games in the past made even people like you or, well, the people, the very tiny minority to also play those games. This is why those games sold a lot. Because it matched the vast majority, made it interesting for even the minorities to play, and yet the game's done for those for extra inclusion today, they barely sell at all. So, what gives? Huh? I don't think this person really realizes what they are trying to say. But then again, it's, well... It's Sweet Baby Ink supporter. And a Kotaku writer, so... Anyway, let's go to the last one, shall we? From this idiot over here. Anyone considering
that games made by large teams of diverse people looking to see themselves in media we are making? Also, what if there isn't an agenda but a reflection of what's actually happening in the real world outside your window?
Well, if that's the case, then your games would be selling a lot, would be breaking records, and yet somehow you had Suicide Squad here. Remember at the beginning of the video when I showed the quantity of players? Yeah, not doing well, is it? And remember, this guy over here is responsible for Wolverine in PS5, Spider-Man 2, Insomniac Games, and Advanced Writer, so... You know, blame more or less for the crap we got on Spider-Man 2. Oh, fuck me. But remember, stay far away from those people. Do not even talk to them. Anyway, I can always point out the examples I just said. You don't necessarily need to have your physical representation in the media. We have been saying that every single time. You idiots on the far left are trying to change that in saying that it is very important to see you physically in the game, otherwise there's no immersion. And that's bullshit. But hey, we can always play play that game. That means if I don't see myself in certain products, I'm going to refuse to buy it. If the ads are not portraying somebody exactly like me, then it's not for me. Remember, two can play this game. Oh wait, yeah, it's taking its toll. Bud Light, not doing so well, is it? No, right? Well, Suicide Squad, not so well. Alan Wake 2, yeah, not doing very well, is it? Right, see how it is. These people never realize it. Anyway, on that goddamn fucking hell, have a great fucking night. Remember, fuck you, YouTube, fuck you.